Witcher 3 is a masterpiece which doesn't need a presentation. It's an exemplary RPG with deep, touching storyline, painful choices and harsh consequences, paired with dynamic, smooth combat and stunning graphics. Hands down, it's one of the most prominent games in the last decade and one of the most memorable RPGs ever made. If you didn't play it still, you lost a chunk of unforgettable experience, and it's time to do so. And if you did, you may sometimes want to replay it, with more scenes to explore, different character build to try, and so on. The game is vast and always offers something new for a walkthrough. Now imagine you can deliver the next. Better models and textures, improved lighting and shadows, improved character and monsters look, and new shaders for graphics. For the gameplay, fixes of some notorious oversights, interface improvements rebalanced to underpowered skills, and brand new abilities, only low-friendly upgrades to combat mechanics and the boss fights, and of course the wide arsenal of new items, dozens of new weapons with unique effects to help you expand your character build, and new clothes for aesthetical joy. The maximum improvement for the game in all aspects, with the minimum amount of mods, with some options to choose from for gameplay overhaul depths. Additionally, for those who will want more, I will also list a few more mods in addition to the main setup. Most importantly, you can also download an ini file with already adjusted load order and few merged script files to ensure compatibility. Yes, you heard it right, the most tricky part of Witcher 3 modding is already solved here. You will only need to download the mods and drop files to your game folder following my instructions in the video, and you will not need to worry about compatibility yourself, simply using my tweaks for that. Less than in an hour, you will be able to remaster Witcher 3 to experience it in tremendously more beautiful, upgraded way, making this already astonishing game absolutely unrivaled even 5 years after. Let's go! So first things first, do I have to be a programmer or modding expert to install this? Absolutely not. This video is not just a mod list, yet also a step-by-step tutorial requiring nothing but 30 to 45 minutes of your time. How to install mods? Do I need some additional software for that? For Witcher 3, mods need to be installed manually. Mod managers like Vortex or Nexus Mod Manager in many cases will not install the mods correctly. Instructions for each mod are in the video, so don't worry. Game language. For graphics mods, textures, lighting, reshade presets, etc., your game language doesn't matter. If you will be also installing the gameplay mods from this list or any other gameplay mods in general, it's highly recommended to have English version of the game. Some mods have translations, but not all, and it's just a safer way. Game version. Now this is a very important moment. Game version 1.31 is needed for proper work of mods. What and why? Version 1.32, the latest one, is basically a Chinese localization of the game. It doesn't add any content and doesn't fix any bugs, just adds the translation. At the same time, simply due to how game code is built, it interferes with many other things in the game and often simply breaks mods. Version 1.31, pre-latest one, doesn't differ in anything at all, besides all mods work fine. You may own Witcher 3 either via GOG or Steam. GOG option is as best. Just do not choose the 32 patch during installation, or if the game is already installed, simply roll back it in GOG settings. In your Galaxy client, go to Witcher 3, More Settings, Override Features. If you own the game in Steam, manual actions are required. If you have game version 1.32, which is most likely if you have the auto updates enabled, first of all, in your game folder, go to Content and then Content 0 folder. There, you will see the file named cn.w3strings. Delete it. Now download the mod code 1.32 to 1.31 patch somewhere at your PC and unpack the archive. Copy all the files you see inside, that would be bin and the content folders, and paste them into the main Witcher 3 folder, where you will see the same named folders. When asked about overwriting, confirm. Do not choose keep both, just overwrite. Done. Your game now is 1.31, which works just fine with all the mods. Now just one more thing. Witcher 3 is very capricious about mods amount. If the game thinks there is too many mods, you may experience too long loading times or complete stucks, whereas other glitches and even crashes, and sometimes it can happen even with the low mods amount. Happily, there is a solution to this, which allows you to have as many mods as you want, be it 10 or 100 and over. Download the ASI Loader Archive 46-bit version as shown, unpack it, grab the DLL file and paste it to your Witcher 3 directory /bin/x64, the folder where the game X file is located. Now download Mod Limit Adjuster and unpack the archive. Grab the both files from the folder and place them same where you just placed the previous file, to /bin/64 folder, where the game.x file is. The CFG file is similar to the ini file. It is needed for configuration. You will not need it to edit for this video mod setup, but if you will install more mods in the future and experience issues, simply open this file with any text editor like Notepad and increase the value. Well done! You can now mod the game to your heart's content, and let's get to the mods. The Witcher 3 HD Reworked project. A huge texture pack of a great quality which basically covers the majority of game objects and serves as a great base. It is really heavyweight, so you may put it on a download and do some other things meanwhile. Download the main file manually or the separate for smaller packs if you're not so sure in your internet stability. If you have downloaded the main file, you'll have one archive, and 4 in case of smaller packs. Unpack one or respectively all of them. For the separate packs case, just grab the mods folders from parts 2, 3 and 4 and place them into folder of the part 1. Now you should look on 3 folders. Grab the bin and the mods folders, config backup is not needed, and place them to your game root folder, not where the game launcher file is, but where the bin and content folders are. Overwrite when asked. Your root Witcher 3 folder now should look like this, and have all the 4 folders: bin, content, DLC and mods. The mods folder is where we will be placing most of our mods from now on. On the mod page, you can also see a note about adjusting the graphics slider in the game settings. Ignore this instruction, as we will adjust these settings with the more powerful mod just in the next step. Tweaks. Simple name with great effect. This mod does 2 things. First of all, it adds plenty of graphic settings, which previously could be adjusted only via ini files, directly to the in-game menu. Secondly, it sort of unlocks these graphic settings, allowing to adjust them to the values much higher than Ultra. This results in a much better draw distance, post-processing quality, grass density, textures look, etc. Download the main file, unpack it, grab the bin and mods folders and drop them to your Witcher 3 root directory. Approve overwriting. Now in graphic settings, you should see the Supreme and Ultimate presets. Set the settings to Supreme preset. Ultimate is for really kind of monster rigs, so Supreme is recommended. After that, set the texture memory budget to 4084 and grass density to 8K or 6K. That's it. Remember, this mod is really important for other texture mods, as if settings are lower than the Supreme preset, high-resolution textures like the HD Reworked mod and few other mods simply will not work properly. So make double sure to launch the game after the mod installation and set this in menu. Phoenix Lighting mod and the Photorealistic Reshade. The best combination for truly next-gen lighting and post-processing combined. Phoenix Lighting mod greatly improves both exterior and interior lighting, making it much more ambient and atmospheric. It also improves and adds some new weather to the game. Photorealistic Reshade is hands down the best preset for The Witcher 3. With the help of new shaders, it drastically improves shadows, objects and skin look. While sticking with the original look of the game, it makes it look much more cinematic and deep. Download the Photorealistic Reshade file. It also has the proper version of the Phoenix Lighting mod included. Please spend just a moment and make sure to endorse the original mod as well. Unpack the archive and go inside to the PLM II folder. Grab both folders and drop them inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Now to the Reshade installation. This preset needs a bit older version of the Reshade. Download it using the provided link. Launch the installer. Navigate to your Witcher 3 launcher, which is, as you remember, is inside /bin/x64 folder. Choose the Direct 3D 10, 11, 12 option. Make sure all options in the opened window are checked and click OK. Wait a few seconds while the needed shaders are downloaded. Done. Close the application. Now go back to the Reshade preset folder. Grab Reshade shaders folder and the Photorealistic Original.ini file. Place them to the very same /bin/x64 folder where your game launcher is. Approve the overwriting. Now launch the game. Take into account that it can take it a bit longer to launch than usual first time. Press Home to open the Reshade interface. In the drop-down, choose the Photorealistic Original and apply it. Done. Now 2 moments. The Reshade interface will throw out a red text saying some shaders are failed to compile. Ignore this. Preset itself is working as intended. If that will be bothering you personally, I left additional instructions in the video description about how to get rid of this message, as well as optional, really slight preset tweak recommendation. Also in the settings tab, you can assign different hotkeys per your taste. True Fires and the More Shadows Photo Saint. Note, these two mods are pretty FPS hungry and can noticeably decrease performance, depending on your PC specs of course. To see how FPS are feeling, check this in a measure settlements and decide if you want these mods or not. This said, the FPS cost is absolutely deserved. It is a complete overhaul of fires, lights and shadows in the game, drastically increasing the draw distances of fires and lights and significantly improving shadows. You can see the result right now in the video with your own eyes. This is of course best noticeable during darker time of the day. True Fires mod comes in 2 parts, hosted on 2 different mod pages. Download them both, as well as HD Reworked project patch, as shown. From the first file, grab the mod True Fires folder and drop it inside your Witcher 3 mods folder, and do the same for the patch. From the second file archive, grab the DLC True Fires folder and, attention, put it to your Witcher 3 DLC folder, not the mods folder, unlike the previous time. Finally, download More Shadows Photo Saint mod and drop the mod More Shadows to Saint folder to your Witcher 3 mods folder. Meadows, an efflorescent grass mod. Best grass mod out of there. Beautiful, distinct and greatly fitting grass with amazing density. While being pretty FPS friendly at the same time, it will turn your wilderness into pure eye candy. Download the mod and put the Mod 0 Meadows folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. HD Monsters Reworked mod is a super crisp improvement to look of nearly every monster in the game, including the bosses, wild hunt enemies and both DLCs, low friendly and qualitative. For the main files, download either the single file version or the 2 parts. Single file version is a bit more performance friendly, and for regular gameplay it is the recommended version. Also get the trophies from the optional files. Put the Mod HD Monsters Reworked and Mod Monster Pack as well as Mod HD MR Trophies folders inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. 4K armor textures, simple as that, the massive improvement to armor's quality with the new custom-made leather and the close parts. Mod also desaturates many too vibrant armors, which was a noticeable issue in the vanilla game. Place the Mod Z 4K armor textures folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. The Mutant, my personal recommendation for Geralt facial details improvement, better skin textures, better brows, beard, eyes, scars and hair physics, low friendly and badass looking. Place Mod the Mutant folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Note, I have also linked a few other alternatives for Geralt, so should you not like this mod personally, feel free to try other ones. And don't worry about the load order, I have thought over this, including these optional mods properly into load order in your file as well. Installation for alternative mods will be just the same. 4K Reworked Woman mod, high quality facelift for the most memorable women in the game. Download the file for each of them, Yen, Tris, Siri and Shani. For Yennefer and Tris though, choose only one file per your preference. Unpack the archives and pick the folders named how it showed on the images. For Yen and Tris, folder name may differ slightly depending on your file choice, and place each of these folders inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. HD 3-load billboards. One more important detail about graphics is the look of distant objects. This mod greatly improves the look of distant trees, adding shadows and more details to them. Download both main and optional files. Place mod HD3 billboards and mod HD3 billboard BNW inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Good job! We are done with the graphics part, and now to the gameplay. While the mods in this part of the list are not affecting performance by any means, installing them is optional and totally up to you, while of course highly recommended. Let's start from the complete overhauls of the gameplay in general, and here you have two options to choose from. First one is Witcher 3 Redux and second is the Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. A few words about which one to pick and how they differ. The Redux mod is really well made, whole game covering, but at the same time lightweight, vanilla plus type of overhaul. It changes most of monsters according to the lore and or just as per logical sense, without any irrational buffs, abilities or senseless sponginess. For example, the tough skin creatures like golems, earth elementals and gargoyles were made immune to fast attacks, which makes total sense. Strong attacks and Demetrium bombs still work just fine, meaning that under effect of the Demetrium bomb, such type of creatures will be vulnerable to regular attacks again. Humans, due to intellectual abilities, will learn about your movements in a fight, so if let's say you're fighting 10 bandits and only again and again rely only on dodges, their AI will improve and become more aggressive during the fight slowly. Or let's take a fight with Bruxa as probably the best example. As you can notice, she became much faster and more unpredictable, and it seems none of my attacks can damage her, while my character is really well developed, and which you may consider as a sort of bug at first glance, but it is actually not. Bruxa has insane regeneration ability as per Witcher universe lore, and in books, Geralt fought Bruxa only once and barely died. Now, do you recall the Night to Remember trailer? A fight was actually shown pretty much correctly as per lore there. Basically, the only way to be able to make Bruxa vulnerable is to let her bite you, drinking black blood potion beforehand. Same with the mod. Bruxa is much faster, her regeneration is insane, and even the Moondust bombs, in that case, will not work. On the other hand, the Black Blood potion not just completely stops her regeneration, but also lowers all resistances, so both your fire and silver sword will be more painful to her. Such changes are made really intelligently, so some enemies are harder not because of just silly health sponginess, but rather due to unique, lore-friendly abilities. But don't think that the mod only makes enemies stronger and that's it. Aside from the enemy rebalance, it also helps Witcher in many ways. Upgrades useless vanilla skills, improves underpowered potions, makes leveling more interesting, etc. For example, remember the Irden last upgrade. Did it also make no sense to you? The sign feature is to debuff the enemy, slow it down, and suddenly a damage boost. First of all, something like Igni dealing this job like 10 times better, and secondly, this damage is so low for mid and end game that enemies most likely will not even notice it. Not anymore. Now the skill has brand new mechanics. It improves the cast of any other sign if it was casted inside the Irden area. Gwen, for example, will slow down time and disintegrate weaker enemies. And if you cast Axii inside Irden Circle and then kill this enemy fast, Axii effect will transfer to all enemies in certain range. Well, you got the idea. Redux is making game more challenging and more dynamic and interesting and fun at the same time, improving the balance without making game too hard or too easy. With how it works, it can be used even if you're playing Witcher 3 for the first time at all, but also suit the needs of veteran players as well. The Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition can be easily called a hardcore mod. It not only overhauls the combat and ability system deeply, but changed some aspects of the gameplay completely for sake of realism, as well as adding brand new gameplay mechanics. For example, the armor class now affects your attack speed, regular attacks and dodges cost stamina to perform. There are new combat mechanics like poise or vigor. Both enemies and you can receive injuries which apply severe debuffs, etc. This mod complexity is a double-edged sword. At the one hand, if you seek much more unforgiving combat experience and want to experience Witcher 3 in a brand different, more realistic way, there is simply no better mod for that. At the other hand though, amount of changes is so vast and changes are sometimes so different from original game that you may find the end result not something you expected. This said, if you don't like the full mod experience, most of parameters can be adjusted or sometimes completely toggled off in a configuration menu, which is a great plus. Additionally, this mod contains a good portion of utility, interface and secondary rebalance mods included in it by default. As a conclusion, Enhanced Edition is a choice for true hardcore lovers or those who finished the game already several times on hard or hardest difficulty and wants brand new experience, while strongly not recommended for those playing the game for the first time or those who do not like extra challenge. I have played over 50 hours with both Enhanced Edition and Redux mods and highly enjoyed them both as well, in a different way. As for yourself, read the both mod description pages and choose the mod you like more. Now to the installation. For the Redux mod, download the main file, unpack the archive and drop mod Redux folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. For the Enhanced Edition mod, download the main file, unpack the archive and here, attention, the 3 folders outlined and marked with number 1 on the image, namely the bin, DLC and mods folders, placed to your Witcher 3 root folder, where the same named folders are, not inside the mods folder. Approve overwriting. The ini file, marked with number 2 on the image, placed to your Documents/Witcher 3 folder and also approve overwriting. You can later of course change the key bindings in the game controls menu. Well done! Ever wanted to have more weapons to use? Exotic Arsenal comes to rescue. Best weapon mod ever released for Witcher 3. It doesn't just add some generic weapons for visual variety, but adds 21 brand new weapon types, each one with own unique model and scabbard. Daggers, greatswords, cleavers, sabers, jagged swords, glaives, crescents, rapiers and more. 55 new weapons in total. But what's even better, each weapon type has unique stats and bonuses. For example, short swords deal more fast attack damage but less strong attack damage and increase stamina regen. Great swords, vice versa, impede stamina regen but deal more damage in general. Rapiers greatly boost criticals and armor piercing, glaives have knockdown chance. Split weapons boost side intensity, jagged weapons have a chance to apply empowered bleed effect and so on. Weapons from this mod are not only used for visual variety, but help to greatly improve and expand character builds. Download the main file and, only if you have installed Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition in previous step, also download the patch from optional files. Installation. Open the DLC folder marked with number 1 and drop the DLC Exotic Arsenal folder from it inside your Witcher 3 DLC folder, not the mods folder. Now open the mods folder marked with number 2 and drop the mod Exotic Arsenal item descriptions folder to your Witcher 3 mods folder. Once again, only if you're using Enhanced Edition, unpack the patch archive and drop the mod Exotic Arsenal/W3EE folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Done. Hoods. A simple yet highly aesthetical mod. Now for the apparel. It adds 200 new items to the game. Hoods, capes, hats, cloaks, tricorns, and so much more. They do not give any stats bonuses to preserve the balance and serve only for beautification or badass look purposes, but do this greatly so you will be never bored with your Witcher style. Download the mod and unpack the archive. Go inside the folder until you see the DLC/hoods folder. Place this folder inside your Witcher 3 DLC folder. That's it. Witchers are wandering warriors for hire, spending most of their life in the saddle, and game represents this greatly. But Roach in vanilla game was so clunky to control with so many limitations, it constantly stumbled across the smallest obstacles, you was not able to ride even through the small water ponds, not even reaching its knees, you was not able to gallop in cities, etc. Time to fix that. The ultimate Roach improvement combines two great mods into one to fix most of these notorious issues and let you explore the game on horse without issues, saving you plenty of time. Note: do not download this mod if you're using Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. It has own horse improvement tweaks, meaning this mod is needed only if you're using Witcher 3 Redux or not using gameplay overhaul at all. Download the mod and place the mod mine folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. The game has thousands of scenes to discover, and so with our finishing tweak, let's improve the map. 3 mods here. First one is all quest objectives on the map, which allows to show all quests on your map, basically the multi-quest tracking. Attention! This mod is also not needed if you're using Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. Download the standard version of main file as shown on the image, unpack it and place the mod map quest objectives folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Now the colored map markers, which greatly helps to orient in markers on both full map and minimap, especially when you have much more of them now. Download all quest objectives compatible version as shown on the image and place the mod colored map markers/AQO inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. The last mod in this trio is World Map Fixes, which, as its name suggests, fixes over 100 of map inconsistencies, which were often leading to confusion when orienting in the world space. Download the mod and place the mod World Map Fixes folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. Great job! You installed all the recommended mods in the list, and now we are just a few steps from the finish. There is one more massive and absolutely great mod I wanted to include in this list, but prepared it for the end due to 2 reasons. First of all, it is Gwent related and not all Witcher players spend a lot of time playing this minigame. Secondly, it is not compatible with Exotic Arsenal and Witcher 3 Redux mods without some advanced merging tweaks, and this mod list goal is to be as simple as possible, without you need to learn anything about Witcher 3 modding. Mod is called Gwent Redux, and it is a complete overhaul of the Witcher 3 card game. This mod adjusts vanilla cards, adds over 100 new cards, updates over 300 portraits, improves AI decks, and much more to make Gwent more balanced, lore-friendly and fun to play. Once again, until you will to learn more advanced techniques about Witcher 3 compatibility tweaking, you can use this mod only with Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition, as it has patch for it, or without gameplay overhaul at all. Additionally, you should drop Exotic Arsenal as well, which means you need to delete Exotic Arsenal mod files from respective mods and DLC folders. If you don't care much about Gwent, just skip this step entirely. Download the main file and, if using Enhanced Edition, the patch for it. Unpack the archives. From the main file folder, drop the bin and the mods folders inside your Witcher 3 root folder. For the patch, drop the mod Gwent Redux EE patch folder inside your Witcher 3 mods folder. That's it. Additionally, in the mod list itself, I have linked a few other small mods which are completely optional, like Better Sign Visuals, Descriptive Oil Icons mod, new hairstyles and beards for Geralt, and couple other small scenes. To install them or not is completely up to you. Most of them are being installed as usual, just the E3 Quen mod also has additional DLC folder which should go inside game DLC folder, and additional hair mod is purely a DLC kind of mod, so you should install its two folders, DLC 2 and DLC 2 improved strings, inside game DLC folder. Now the finishing steps. Download the Witcher 3 Remaster tutorial compatibility archive, which is also linked in video description. Unpack it. You will see a folder and the ini file inside. First of all, take the mod settings ini file and place it inside your Documents Witcher 3 folder. If you have such file already, overwrite it. This ini file is a pre-made settings pack which ensure mods are loaded in the proper order to work fine, so you don't have to figure this out yourself. Secondly, the script merges folder. This one you will need only if you're using gameplay overhauls, Witcher 3 Redux or Enhanced Edition. If you're not using them, your setup is complete. If you do, go inside this folder. You now should see 3 folders with pretty self-explanatory names. First is for Witcher 3 Redux mod used with Exotic Arsenal, and other two are for Enhanced Edition used either with Exotic Arsenal or Gwent Redux. Depending on which combination you are using, go inside the respective folder. Grab the mod 0000 merged files folder and place it inside your Witcher 3 mods folder, similar to how you installed most of the other mods before. This folder is basically not a mod itself, it doesn't do anything on its own, but contains a merged script files to ensure compatibility between some specific mods. Now 2 final notes about gameplay overhauls, Redux and Enhanced Edition. If you are not using them, you can technically continue the game on existing save if you want that. If you do use them though, remember 2 things. First of all, these mods are not designed for New Game Plus. They already increase difficulty of the game, but via own way, and New Game Plus simply becomes obsolete. Secondly, you must start a new game, without any exceptions. Generally speaking though, it is recommended to start a new game anyway, even if you are not using gameplay overhauls, to enjoy all the new things and looks from the point zero. That's it, you did it, and did it well. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and I wish you the best of luck in your brand new remastered Witcher 3. Don't forget to endorse the mods you have downloaded, and good luck on the path. Don't forget to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. If you want to support me directly, you can do this either via Patreon or buying the games in my personal video game store, where you can get the Steam keys and support me at the same time, without you paying any extra penny for this. Stay tuned, stay healthy, and see you next time. Sinitar Gaming here, signing out.